Kia ora koutou. Ever had one of those trading sessions where nothing goes right? Not even your mouse? Well, that was me today. I missed moves, had tech issues, and an off mindset meant I ended up with 0 trades. So let's take a look at what I missed. So when we first started this morning, I saw SBEV, and I traded this yesterday and got 25 cents out of the market from it. Today I saw it in this area here. I'll bring up that. In this area here, it had just broken through VWAP and then basically it pulled back below. And when it pulled back below, I thought, oh, should I see if it breaks back through? But then I saw TGL. And TGL, this was this had made a big move just before I turned my platform on. So it had made a move from about 6:30, and I came in around 6:45, I think it was 6:40, and it was pulling back. So I was looking at it through here, and by the time I actually watched this, SBEF had popped. So I ended up missing the initial move on SBEV, yeah. So it had pulled back, broke back through the VWAP here. I was looking at TGL, and when I first came back to see this had popped, it was already in this candle here. So I'd missed all of this move. And when it had pushed up to here, I didn't want to get in. It was too high for me, and probably a decent decision. Maybe could have got 20 or 30 cents out of this one candle here, but I didn't want to chase it. So I left it alone, pulled back, and then it looked kind of like it had finished its move, and then rallied again. I again missed that move. I just didn't think it was going to go that far, so didn't buy in there. I didn't buy in on that pullback. I thought it was going to, fail. So didn't get on that. And also because I'm only taking one trade, I thought I'd already missed the move on this stock really. And probably that is the case, but yeah. So this kind of just went sideways there. Didn't manage to break through 483. And then that was pretty much it for SBEV. There was a couple more opportunities where it broke through VWAP eventually after pulling back, but I didn't capitalize on those either. I had an issue with my mouse last night. I don't know what had happened to it. I don't know whether someone had dropped something on it or something, I don't know. But the left click wasn't working properly, and not on SBEV, but on BCTX, the next stock. I went to place an order on a support level, and I was looking for a bounce off the support level, off of VWAP. I think it was here actually. It was this candle here. So it would push up through VWAP. I had seen BCTX here when it pushed up around 7:30, and then I missed. I didn't take it here. I didn't want to trade it through there, and then it was coming back up here to VWAP. My little boy got up in through this period as I was watching this, so I had to go settle him. And by the time I got back, then it had actually come back down and was pushing back up to here. And I was a bit late in trying to get an entry in here because one, I was having issues with the mouse, and just even moving around the chart, I couldn't click and drag. So it was a bit of comical, some errors anyway. So I missed this trade here off the VWAP and that break there over the $5 mark. So what I planned to do was, I was looking at it here and it was pushing through here, and I thought, well, if it comes back down to VWAP, I will buy on the VWAP and hopefully get a bounce back up. And I placed an order here around, I think it was 515 or something like that, 516. And when I placed it, I realized it was double the amount of shares. So my mouse, even though I'd clicked it once to buy only one set of shares, or one, 100 shares, it had actually placed two orders on top of each other at that price. So I had two orders sitting at the same price for 100 shares each. So I quickly cancelled the order, but I cancelled both of them, and then it did dip. It dipped down and then pushed straight back up. So getting filled, it was a fill would have been around 515, I think it was. I can't remember what the order was placed, but it basically came down pretty much straight after I had cancelled the orders, and then pushed straight back up to $5.40, $5.50. So bit gutted about that, but that was the way it went. But really the entries on BCTX, which I should have been in. Sorry, that trade was here on this dip here. When it dipped down there, I had placed those positions along the VWAP here, and basically it dipped down, would have filled me and ripped straight away, and I could have made 20-30 cents. But anyway, that didn't happen. But the entry here was on this break of VWAP here as the volume came in, and a good exit would have been either at the top of these candles, or if you held through the pullback, pushing up into this territory here. Otherwise there is a micro pullback in here on, I think on the whole dollar. Oh no, that was on the whole dollar at the break of VWAP. Yeah, so that was BCTX, and that sort of just faded after that. And at the open, sort of watched it during the open, thought it might rally back up again. It had news, but it just couldn't do it. I didn't want to take a trade off the lows. I was waiting for it to sort of break more towards VWAP, but couldn't get over this pivot point here around 470, and then it just faded. So that was the end of that stock there. And the other stock that I looked at was SBEV. This popped at the open, and because I was watching BCTX at the open, I missed this sort of initial move here. But it was a stock that met my criteria. It was within my price range, and I was looking at a break of VWAP. And even though it broke here and here, put in a couple breaks and getting close, it was just the volume wasn't really good. And then it broke through here. I think this is when, around here was when our dog was going nuts at something out in the yard outside. So I sort of missed this one. And then when it came back up here, I didn't think the volume was very good. It was a lot lighter volume. So I didn't take that break, and I didn't take anything through here. I didn't really like this. And then when it broke here, I thought about an entry. Where was it? I thought about an entry here when it broke here, but then decided, no, it's now pretty late in the session. It's an hour after, or over an hour after I'm meant to be finished at 10 o'clock. So it's too late. I'm only up because, well, my partner last night, she was working late and all that sort of thing, so she was still up. So I was just staying up, basically watching the market while she was still working. So it was just a mix of lots of things happening. And usually I'm up trading. It's just me by myself in the dark, just with a load of my monitors and you know, the software voice telling me when I've executed trades and when the market's opened and all that sort of thing. But yeah, don't have all the distractions around me of someone else working as well. And then because I guess because everyone was up and the lights were on, just everything else just seemed to be going on last night. So yeah, sometimes the best trade is the one you don't take. I'm proud I didn't force it, even if it was frustrating. Let me know in the comments, how do you handle days when nothing goes to plan? I will see you tomorrow. Hei a popo.